Fusion is an interesting term in the context of Dragon Ball. It means to take two separate things and combine them to make something that is far greater than the sum of its parts. Now, what Cell is doing might not be the same as the Potara fusion, where you get many times stronger than both individuals at their best, although he is still absorbing a far stronger version of himself, and thus increasing his own strength many times over. In fact, being a bit more serious now, realizing there are people who could actually stand a chance against him, Cell decides to immediately attack Gohan. The bioandroid would launch a massive attack straight in the preteen's direction. Not quite a big bang attack, but certainly more than a regular ki blast, although based on how little effort Cell put into it, you could barely tell. But for Gohan, it was absolutely devastating. The explosion left behind from such an effortless attack nearly killed the young man. He was able to dodge, although only barely. He feels that if anybody else were the target for that sort of attack, they would have died with no way to resist. And you know this is true as well. Even Gohan is no match for Cell now. So you telepathically communicate to Boxa, telling her to bring Gohan to planet Namek immediately. The next generation's survival is the best chance the Earth has. And admittedly, this was a bit of an emotional choice. You want to make sure Boxa was safe, even if Cell can probably teleport too, meaning distance doesn't really matter. This is all just a backup plan though. They are the Earth's last hope, although hopefully they're not the one they're going to need to rely on, as you did still prepare a contingency for Cell getting massively more powerful. You would hope that you'd be able to beat Cell on your own, although once he introduced Fusion, that hope kind of went out the window, so you decide to even the playing fields. While inside of the hyperbolic time chamber, you taught Goku something that you learned while practicing all sorts of magical techniques. It was created by the Metamorans. It's the Fusion Dance. Combining two beings into one always felt very mythical, and even though it was a race-based technique, it did still rely on magic to work, so you were able to learn and adapt it into your own style, just in case you ever needed to use it. And then, while in the Room of Spirit and Time, you taught it to the perfect training partner, a Super Saiyan, somebody who was even able to eclipse your own strength a couple of times inside of the chamber. But like I said in the last part, you two are pretty much equal, so even when going all out, you were able to merge perfectly. But now it's time to put that to the test. Will it really be enough to fight Cell? Well, find out next time. I'm just kidding, you had to wait like 2 weeks for this, so I'm not gonna delay it again. Well, seems like we have no other options. You ready, you?
Ready as I'll ever be. To dance on a battlefield. Really? That's the best we're gonna get for an introduction?
Listen, man, I'm working on a budget. You're lucky I even let you make a meta joke about it.
Alright, Cell, I'm here to beat ass and take names, and I already know yours. So get ready for option A. Oh, you think you're cute.
You teleport behind Cell and launch what you call a 2-in-1 Kamehameha.
Bitch, we're adorable.
Cell's left side is almost completely gone. He's missing half an arm, most of his leg, and a huge chunk of his torso, although he is still able to regenerate, something that no matter how many times you see is still a bit freaky.
What do you think would happen if we lost an arm? Would it come back when we defused? Or would we be able to grow it back? Let's find out.
The bioandroid would coat his hand in ki and attempt to cleave off your right arm. Although you'd be able to narrowly avoid this, he was still fast, but you're a bit faster. He would launch a point-blank energy blast volley, although like almost everybody in Xenoverse, you would simply brush it off with no real damage.
Nah, you're right, we probably couldn't regenerate, but hey, you're pretty good at it.
The fact I've seen my own blood is a cosmic mistake. One I will not be repeating. Ha!
As a massive beam, almost resembling the Kiko Ho, comes across the horizon, every surrounding mountain and even hilly area would suddenly be turned to a glass floor. All of the Z-Fighters had already promptly moved far away, although if they hadn't, they all surely would have been dead. Remembering the sheer scope of the power that both you and Cell wield, you decide to end the fight as quick as possible, leaving no potential casualties, at least none further. You're not really sure how populated the nearby areas are, although you hope they're barren, or were. The fight would continue on, and even though you are able to do considerable damage, it doesn't really do anything. As every arm you break, every leg you blow off, he just regenerates. The one thing you can't break is his spirit, and you can only hurt his body for so long. Knowing that there is a 30-minute time limit on the fusion, you decide to speed things up. You are already going at your full strength, although you can push it even beyond your current stage by using Kaioken. Since only half of the fusion knows how to perform this technique, and even then you couldn't use it on your super form before, the fusion can only use it in short bursts. But this is still more than enough to turn the tide of the battle. Cell is losing, although he isn't losing bad enough where the 30 minutes won't be up by the time you're able to actually take him out. But then you remember, you have magic. And since Cell is a being displaced from time, you can do all of the time travel nonsense you want to him as long as you're not affecting anything else around you. So you begin to blow off parts of Cell's body, just like before, although now it has a dual purpose. Not only are you hurting Cell and continuing the battle like normal, but you're also using your magic to heal those spots. Well, not heal exactly. You're making sure to speed up time around the wound, but only around the wound. That way he doesn't know what's going on, but it looks like he's just regenerating normally, although it's healing naturally. The parts of his body that are healing are instead just beginning to scar and heal over, which might sound like what normally happens with his regeneration, but it's far different. The parts of his body that you do this to aren't being brought back up to full or replaced with an entirely new section like that, no. Instead, they're staying dead. They can't be healed because they're no longer registered as a part of his body. Kind of like how senzu beans can't heal scars. By the time he catches on to what you're doing, it's already too late. He can't just cut off his arm and regrow it like normal, because then it would just be brought back the same way it was before he cut it off, with all the same dead and rotting flesh that would still cover it after he regenerated. And since we know the more damage that your body takes, the less ki you have, Cell is getting much weaker from this, to the point where he just can't keep up. Even without Kaioken, you're majorly outclassing him. After a couple more minutes of complete torture for the bio-android, the fusion would wear out. Although even now just on your own, you and Goku are able to take him down, but you're not able to completely eradicate him. Holding him off and destroying his body are two very different things, especially when even a slight mess up might lead to him getting a Zenkai boost, and coming back far too strong to deal with. So you have Box and Gohan return to Earth. You're going to need everybody to launch one combined attack if you want to get this done right. You kick him into the air and tell Boxa to use her telekinesis to hold him there. Make sure he doesn't move, and she's able to accomplish that at least for a little while. Piccolo would enter Kaioken on top of his Super Namekian form, then begin launching ki blasts all over the place, just making sure to get all of his energy out there. Goku would power up to his maximum Super Saiyan strength, while Gohan, newly healed, would activate Super Saiyan 2. Then the father-son duo charge up a Kamehameha. Vegeta would activate Super Saiyan as well, before then preparing a Gallic Gun. Raditz is the final Saiyan to transform before preparing a double Sunday. All of the beams would launch, and Cell is beginning to be torn apart, although it's not until you from above launches your very own Kamehameha that you're really able to finish off the bio-android for good.
I hope it brings you at least a little comfort in the afterlife, knowing that none of us could have taken you down on our own. You truly were perfect, so...
Hey guys, sorry for the wait. I know it's been a while, but other responsibilities than YouTube. I do like making these videos, it's just sometimes it's hard to actually get around to doing it. Recording, editing, all that. Nobody's like, come after me, and I'm not being held at gunpoint to say this. I just felt like you guys deserved an apology. I mean, like, it's been a while, and a lot of you guys like these stories. But anyways, happy holidays. This is, always has been, and always will be the Irishman. Talk to you later. Bye.